Hello there everyone, and welcome to Rise of Liberty. This is one of those battle simulators done sort of in a crowd control way. It's set during the American War of Independence, and, well, as you can see, we've got the British here and we've got the Americans on the other side. I was a bit disappointed with it actually, due to the fact of how you actually control your men. I was hoping I could control them from this kind of spectator view, but you actually have to control them sort of similar to how you control troops in Mount and Blade, in that you have to go up close, and then you select an arbitrary number around you, sort of a circle around you. You select those men, and then you have, well, very much similar choices in terms of how to control the men. Control the men on the field, but obviously putting yourself on the field means that there's a high risk that you get shot or killed, and that will make it more difficult for you to test out the different ideas. So as I said, it's kind of like a it's done sort of in crowd control way. And so what you wanted to test is, say, or like ideally what I would want from a game like this is to be able to play out an historical battle, or maybe a smaller part of an historical battle would be more feasible, and then say, you know, what happened if so-and-so battle, they were actually able to do this, they were able to build a fort in the way here, or maybe they were actually able to get the guns here in time, and so test out scenarios, or what-if scenarios. You can still kind of do it here in basic ways, but it would have been nicer to be able to control from this kind of view. But as we see, because of the cavalry attacks on either side, we have the lines have sort of shifted in a way, and we'll see how that affects the outcome of the battle. So in this case, it looks as though the British are losing on the left side, while they have a very high concentration of troops right over here, and could possibly push through here. But given the fact that we've got kind of good concentration of colonials there on the right and on the left, it could mean that this group could be sandwiched and get a crossfire and get destroyed that way. And also this big group here of British soldiers is very susceptible to attacks from cannons. So I think it would have been a lot more interesting if you got more control over how you send the troops forwards. Like, one of the things that I was thinking about, say, if you would have introduced a sort of, you know, different time periods. And what happens if you have a phalanx moving forward, and you put that little bit of difficult terrain in front of your left flank, meaning you push the lines out of formation, a little bit like we saw here with the British line. How would that affect the battle? Or, you know, what if I put a hill here, or stuff like that. So I think stuff like that would have been more interesting. Now, of course, that's a lot to ask for a game that was marketed on Steam, with the Steam sale for, what, €5? So it's a bit much to ask, and also the fact that there's only one guy developing this game. But for what he has actually managed to done, I actually like the fact that he's been able to do this just on his own as one developer. Oh, was that friendly fire from a cannon? Almost looked like the British shot themselves there. No wonder they lost the war then, if they keep shooting themselves. But I really find it quite interesting how you can sort of, you know, interject yourself. So say if I move down to control a unit here, and say I move to take control of this side, is going to get shredded. So what if I move in here, and we're going to take control of some of the men here, and we're going to see if I have time here. I'm going to pull these guys back, so I've got 60 guys. I just pulled the guys that were closest to me. I'm going to pull them off. We're going to go here, and so you can see the Americans now engaging our flank, which was left exposed. I'm gonna move up through the forest with my men, and then we're gonna come in on the flank here, and we've got a really nice view here to push fire down onto the colonial infantry there. So stuff like that, how you can sort of, in a crowd control way, see how would this battle have gone if this would have happened. So look at this. So right now, with my maneuver here, I successfully, I mean, I've got 58 men, so 2 men were lost. And we destroyed this force here, or the flanking side here. And it seems as though enough troops has held on my left and in the center for us to actually hold the Americans in place, giving us time to move up, take the main battle point here, so turn it into our side, and keeping control of this means that we gain points while the Americans don't. So now my group was devastated by a cannon shot, but we still have enough people to hold on to this place, even in case of the colonials sending cavalry to attack us. Still have a bit of fight all the way over there. Oh, I'm surprised I actually managed to hit that. So we got reinforcements now coming in, and right now the way that this works is you need to get to 1,000 points. And right now the Americans are in a lead. Let's go back into spectator mode. So the forward group that I send in is now going straight into the American center, which is probably not going to go well for us. But it's going to be able to hold the Americans there until the reinforcements have good and well moved up to the point where we hold the flag once more. And looking at how the battle progressing here, what I could do is, I mean, you could take control of the cavalry, move that around to silence the enemy cannons, which are doing a lot of damage to these big battalions. Now these guys are not moving forward in time, so they're not actually able to successfully support the good attack that we had there. And it looks like the British have fared quite a bit worse than the Americans in terms of artillery strikes here. So we can see at least 3 or 4 of these regimental battalions, or whatever we call it, have been hit by artillery. And look at that, we lose even more on this side with a cavalry charge coming in. They're able to take down 3 of the horsemen, 5 of the horsemen roughly. But that's enough to send the British line on that side into disarray. They're doing a similar thing on with the British cavalry, but I don't think it's going to go too well on this side. This little flank here is exposed. They're formed in a clump compared to the Americans, which are formed in a very nice line there. And you can see how the British fall compared with the Americans. So the Americans will be able to pull through there and cause that side to flank in on these guys. And it looks as though the British cavalry actually did rather well breaking a hole through there. But I'm pretty sure, given what we see right now, that the Americans have a very good chance unless some really good cannon shots come in. You know what? I think I misspoke. Given the fact that the cavalry charges went in on either side, it seems that they have caused similar effects to the line, where the Americans are winning on our left side, while we, the British, are winning on the right side. We're gonna see about helping out the British side here. Get rid of some of these Americans. Oh, I actually shot through this guy and hit another one. I've got the blunderbuss. Easy to use for some good crowd control. And the Americans are seconds away from securing the flag. So they're gonna once again take over the flag and be in lead. We're waiting for one more round of reinforcements. And once that arrives... Oh, they're shooting at me now. Oh, there I go. Once that arrives... I'm hoping it's arriving. Oh, it might be over then. Oh, I guess I forgot to count the reinforcement waves. And right now, given the fact that the British have more troops on the field, gives us quite a good chance of victory here. The enemy have, however, silenced one of our cannons, which is going to be a problem. So I need to go in here. Oh, I was hoping that at least more than 4 guys would survive. Oh, it counts me as well. Well, at least we'll turn this flag into red, which means eventually we'll win. See if I can snipe this guy. No, that's no chance. Well, given that the battle kind of died down, and it will be a slow British victory, but the British will win since those guys will not attack. And you know, I could pick up quite a few guys over there, try to attack that, but the walls, you have to really get around the walls because the walls are really strong in this. So I think we'll go ahead and end this battle because we're not going to get any further with this. Also, I should note here that the music I have on in background is because the game only has menu music, so I wanted something besides just my voice going through your head. So I've got my standard classical music playlist playing in the background. So we got an idea what's going on here with the game. Next up will be Bunker Hill, but I actually have to... I recorded this in a very weird way, or in a very... I don't have... what I need to say is I don't have time to continue this, otherwise... But I'll do a second one where we do Bunker Hill, which is a more advanced battlefield. The British are attacking from multiple directions, and there's a lot more variables to tweak with to see what we can do and see if we can actually win Bunker Hill. Obviously, both sides historically claimed victory for Bunker Hill for two different reasons. The British because they took the ground, which is the traditional way of saying you won a battle because you took the ground from the enemy. However, the Americans, of course, claimed victory because they inflicted a lot more casualties on the British. And with the fact that Britain is an ocean away means that attrition like that or losses like that won't be easily replaced. Now I've gone on for way too long. Hopefully you liked this video though, and hopefully I'll see you for the next one at Bunker Hill.